We're learning more tonight about the role Mexico is playing in the opioid crisis here in Wisconsin. A new report out today shows Mexico is a dominant source of our country's fentanyl supply and synthetic opioids.
In fact, every day in Milwaukee County, someone dies from a fentanyl drug overdose. It could be your brother or sister or someone you love. But tonight there is hope with a new tool for first responders.
Ben Jordan going 360 tonight to explain how a fentanyl testing tool works and how several organizations from public health to law enforcement say that they are needed to save lives.
Fentanyl testing strips are currently considered drug paraphernalia in Wisconsin, but Governor Evers' staff says he stands ready to decriminalize them. Once they are legalized, people will be able to test their street drugs to see if they're laced with a deadly dose of fentanyl. Wisconsin lawmakers have agreed to decriminalize what public health experts call a life-saving tool. Let's go 360 to hear from those who fought to legalize fentanyl testing strips. VIVENT shows the effectiveness of the strips already distributed in Wisconsin. The Milwaukee Police Association shares how first responders will benefit from using these strips. But let's start with Jim Sweet, a Madison man who wonders if they could have saved his 17-year-old son.
It's horrific, and almost 2 years on now, and not a day goes by that I don't think about him.
Jim says his son Aiden was in his junior year in high school when he slipped back into using and died after overdosing on fentanyl. The CDC says a synthetic opioid is 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office found fentanyl was to blame in 79% of the county's drug overdoses last year.
The boy was really, really bright, and he was trying to find ways to kill his pain. He wasn't trying to kill himself. So I feel like the testing strips, in the right hands, people are going to use them.
Fentanyl test strips are considered drug paraphernalia under Wisconsin law. People caught using or possessing them can be charged and convicted of a felony. The new legislation would fully legalize the small strips of paper.
And they dip the test strip into the water.
The strips cost about $1 each and can detect the presence of fentanyl in drug batches.
And then you wait for the lines to show up.
Despite current law, VIVENT has been handing out the testing strips to drug users across Wisconsin for free since 2019. Kristen Grimes says reducing overdoses outweighs the risk.
The people that we serve don't want to die. They want to live, and they want to be able to know what's in their drug supply so that they can stay safe and at some point recover.
Kristen says VIVENT gave out 46,000 testing strips to drug users across the state last year, including about 12,000 in Milwaukee. 78% of Milwaukee area users who shared the results found fentanyl present in heroin.
For those who are finding a positive test, they're doing things like using with a friend so that if they do overdose, someone can administer naloxone or Narcan. They are using a little bit of the drug or using less.
Until Governor Evers signs the bill into law, fentanyl testing strips are also illegal for law enforcement to use, something Milwaukee Police Association President Andrew Wagner strongly disagrees with.
Fentanyl, minuscule grams of fentanyl could get airborne, ingested into an officer's system, and really cause havoc. We did have an officer, I think it was a year or 2 years ago, who had ingested some and is still having heart issues due to fentanyl.
The Milwaukee Police Association fought to have the law changed so first responders can stay safe on the job by adding the testing strips to their toolbox.
As far as the citizens go, we also believe it should be acceptable for the citizens to use. We hope that it's not misused in a wrong way where people are looking for that kind of a high of a fentanyl, but we do believe that it should be out there, to save lives.
Lawmakers in Madison say although their bill has passed both houses of the legislature, it won't go to Governor Evers for consideration until April. Governor Evers has been pushing for this law change ever since he took office. Reporting in downtown Milwaukee, Ben Jordan, TMJ4 News.
All right, Ben, going in depth now. In the last year, fentanyl and synthetic opioids led to around 65% of the 100,000 overdose deaths in the U.S. The people who died ranged in age from 18 to 45 years old. To see more 360 stories, including an in-depth piece on bail reform in Wisconsin, head to tmj4.com/360.